Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. And in this video we are going to take a look at how the Dragon Ball Heroes team does in the Hybrid Saiyans Extreme Super Battle Road stage. So the Hybrid Saiyans team is one of the few categories, or one of the growing number of categories that quite frankly has a lot of Dragon Ball Heroes units in it. And that's really perfect because their team is very, very powerful. So we have units like Pan, an exceptional unit with crazy defense, evasion, just a whole lot going on. She stuns, she crits, she evades, she does additional attacks if you build her that way. She's just exceptional. She's also a great support for the category. Then if we take a look at the lead that we're using, the double lead of the Tech God Trunks, with a full Dragon Ball Heroes team, even with just a 55% unit, this guy is going to be one of the best units for Esbr, pretty much for any content in a Dragon Ball Heroes team. He has like 300k defense, 250k defense at 55%. He's got like 5 million attack stats. It's just unreal how much damage this guy can do. Yeah, and then we have a very, very good floating cost around them. So obviously the two Trunkses are the main units. Pan is a exceptional unit that can be paired up with either of them. We have the lovely SS3 EZAs that have been produced. So we have units like the SS3 Trunks, who has a high chance to guard, gains a decent amount of attack while getting hit, has obviously the ability to stack his attack and defense. He also has Cold Judgment, which pairs really well with the Tech God Trunks. We then also have great floating units like the Go Tanks and the Vijanks and Go Hanks and all those various mixtures of SS3 fusions. Their Seal, which is fantastic. They lower attack and defense. They stack their attack and defense to a very high point as well. And then we have units like this Gohan, this SS3 Gohan, who, depending on the amount of orbs that he gets, can really hit some impressive heights. You'll notice so far that we haven't even used an item yet, and I think that's kind of indicative of just showing how good the team is. Pan and Trunks literally almost cannot take damage. Pan, with her ability to raise her defense by 50% for every attack she evades, plus her stunning ability. The Trunkses with their sealing ability plus their crazy defense after supering in that second slot are just so good defensively. And once you get past the first or second turn, your team generally is just so strong that it doesn't really have that big an issue. If you look at, for example, this Gotenks here, this AGL Gotenks, he does really, really awesome damage. He does attack lowering and defense lowering. Just this whole team just does so well. And I think it's really impressive how, the team just functions and comes together. The synergy between most of the units, like you do have some slight key problems in the second rotation here between Trunks and Trunks. But for the most part, it's just a very, very powerful team. It's just super efficient. It's got a lot of control. Pan has a stun, Trunks has a seal, other Trunks has a seal. The Go Hanks has a seal as well. You have the attack lowering from the Go Tanks. You have the seal from the SS3 Gohan. So yeah, you just have like a lot of utility, a lot of ways to control the battle. Pan, exceptional starting defense. Her evasion makes her very suited to the first slot here, and every time she evades, she's just going to stack that defense higher and higher. Then you also have, of course, Trunks, fantastic in the second slot, even at 55% or at 100% like the friend one. Exceptional. The 55% unit is more than fine to take normal attacks in ESBR after supering, and the 100% version can literally take them before super attacks, so it's just nuts how high that one's defense is. SS3 Gohan, Obviously provides that floating seal, which is great, but also if you get 7 orbs with him, he has damage reduction, additional attack and defense, and a high chance of critting. So just pretty impressive, like how his kit can go. And because you have rainbow orb creation on both rotations with Tech Trunks and Tech Trunks, the team just has an absolutely insane amount of orb generation, and that just lets them, essentially like control the battlefield and proc all of their passives. It's the same with Gotenks and Gohanks. Same thing. They get all of their additional attacks because they're proccing their full passives. So they just stack their defense up super high. You can see them start a turn at 70, 80k, and before they've even been hit by the enemy, they've already stacked themselves up to 130, 140,000 defense. So it is really, really impressive just how crazy this whole team works. Your biggest luck factor is the beginning of the battle. Obviously you want Pan. Pan needs to get some evasion. If Pan doesn't evade, her defense won't be high. After her first evasion, her defense is so high that she can even tank supers. And the same in the second rotation. Your main aim generally is SS3 Trunks has to get his guard to activate. If his guard activates, he is more than fine. If it doesn't activate, you are susceptible to damage. So yeah, that's your biggest risk factors. The Trunks in the second slot, both of them are more than fine. They're not going to cause you any problems at all. And then the third slot units generally are okay, as long as you're sealing the right units, but you do just need to be somewhat careful. Just make sure you seal the correct units or attack lower the correct units or anything like that. You do just need to somewhat, be aware of who you're putting seals and control on. You don't want to not seal someone and then tank a super or something. As you can see, we still haven't used an item. I don't plan on using an item. This run is not going to be a no item run because we will eventually fail, unfortunately. But there will be no items used. You get right to the end. Literally would have beaten the event no item run if we just got one more evasion at the end, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, essentially, honestly, the team is just great. Great synergy, great performance, really, really solid. Great offensive output as well. Obviously headlined by the Trunks units, but a lot of the other units are hitting good attack stats. The 2 Trunkses do a lot of the heavy lifting, but SS3 Gohan's hitting 2.8, 3 million attack stats, which is very good. Trunks hits some good attack stats when he gets going. The Gotenks and the Gohanks unit don't necessarily hit super high attack stats because they're floaters, and their attack stats really only show once they've started attacking for quite a significant amount of time. But it's still a decent amount of offense. Pan hits for 2 million, and I mean, this is a non-link level team. There's been no effort put into link leveling them. There's been no gear put on them or anything like that. So you could see even better performances from these units, which I think is very impressive and very, very good. Just overall, the team's just obviously very, very good. So yeah, Hybrid Saiyans fortunately is one of those teams that really does benefit from at least this batch of Super Dragon Ball Heroes units, much like Goku's family. It's just one of those categories that just has a lot of them, and so its options to utilize them is extensively more than other categories, which means having a Trunks who's a Hybrid Saiyans as a Dragon Ball Heroes lead makes this team super powerful for this Extreme Super Battle Road stage. And this team would be powerful in any Extreme Super Battle Road stage you can do. It's just super impressive and just really well done. So yeah, as you can see, the team is now starting to hold its own. Generally, as the fights continue to go on, for the most part, you don't actually have a large span of weaknesses. your team generally just gets stronger. The Gohanks, the Gotenks get higher levels of defense. Trunks, AGL Trunks gets a higher level of defense. You generally will have the unit sealed or controlled. Your only real risk points, which you will see later on, is obviously SS3 Gohan. Making sure that you get 7 orbs with him is very imperative, especially when you're fighting against type disadvantage. And of course, with Pan, getting that initial evasion is going to be a very, very important part of getting your team to perform. If you don't manage to get that necessary evasion, she'll take a lot of damage from supers. She'll be fine from normals, but she will take a lot of damage from supers. Once she gets that initial evasion, generally her defense is enough that the super is not a high intensity risk. But yeah, we'll definitely get a good look here. So this is Broly and Paragus, probably one of the hardest combos to fight against in Extreme Super Battle Road. Again, we're not going to use any items. That's kind of the goal of the run here, or at least of the demo. I hope the fact that we've gotten all the way to the final fight without using items demonstrates how powerful the Dragon Ball Heroes category is. I know people will say, oh, it's, and it is fair, they are a very suited team towards events like ESBR and SBR, but that being said, they still have respectable enough defensive levels to perform in long form events, and we'll take a look at that maybe in another video. But I think as just a display of how good a Dragon Ball Heroes category team can be, this is how, like, if you were to make a ESBR or an SBR for Dragon Ball Heroes, this is just 55% units, half of them. Trunks, SS3 Trunks is 55%. Gohan SS3 is 55%. The one Tech Trunks, God Trunks is 55%. Gohanks is 55%. This is a team that doesn't even have a lot of dupes in it. If you were to give all these units dupes and gear, and then try and tune a stage for them, or like create a stage that could challenge a Dragon Ball Heroes team, it would have to be one of the finest tuned stages in the game. It would really be pushing up there. The Dragon Ball Heroes team on its own is comparable to some of the best teams in the game and categories in the game. Its output is just ridiculous in terms of its control and defensive numbers that it can do, the attack stats that all the units eventually do. I mean, I've never seen teams where you have one showpiece unit that's doing 5-6 million attack stats with chances to crit, and then other units are also hitting like 2 million, 3 million attack stats as well. 55% units. It's just, it's very impressive to see. And you can see here how we're just maintaining a high level of control. Now, the reason we don't actually win this ESBR, even though we are controlling the fight, is I actually make a mistake in not sealing Paragus and Broly. I went to seal Broly, and then I made an attack that would then focus on Paragus again. On Broly again, and then that prevented us from having the double seal, which obviously essentially then costs us the no item run. But the fact that we're about to take out Paragus, Broly's at half health, we're healing up now from the orbs because the units are starting to generate attack and defense numbers that are so high that we're actually just healing up from the orbs. And you can see here, this is just an example of how important it is to elect as many orbs as possible. You need to activate the full portion of Gohan's passive. But you can see here, Trunks 1.8 million, doing some really good damage. This Trunks also doing some really good damage. I should have fired the attack from Gohan at Paragus, but I counted on the fact that Pan would evade Paragus. So if I had done that, we wouldn't have died, because Pan can tank normals very, very well. whereas she got supered and didn't get her evasion, and that's essentially how we lost. But small things, I'm not too concerned. The run was so deep and so near the end that it displayed exactly what I wanted from the team. It would have been nice to obviously get the no item run, just because obviously from a video titling point of view I could have put it in, I guess. But yeah, realistically, an exceptional performance. So yeah, pretty good. Really good team, and very impressive. So if you do have Dragon Ball Heroes units, or if you have these exact units, or if you've been wondering how powerful are they really, this video is a very good judge of how powerful a full Dragon Ball Heroes team is. But let me know in the comments what you think. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and as always, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care and bye.